Guten Tag, willkommen bei DMEXCO in Köln. Das ist die dritte Seite, ich habe hier gesehen. Thank you to Christian and Frank for having me. It's always a pleasure. I'm here for Beat TV. I've done 3 panels, I've had a lot of great meetings, I've done a lot of great segments for Beat, and it's been an incredible show, and every year it just gets better. It really is such a wonderful example of sort of the power of getting really smart tech people together in one place, in an organized way, logistically easy, all those things that are so DMEXCO and why it's becoming a cornerstone event for so much of the industry. So this year, 2014, we had, I think, over 30,000 attendees. There were over 100 countries represented. And what I noticed is, and now there are 3 halls actually, I think what they said it was something like 70,000 square feet now. And when I was speaking to Christian and Frank, the founders of DMEXCO last night, you know, what I was discussing is the fact that over the last 3 years, every year, you sort of, the first year I came, was on the floor, wanted to talk to folks in booths. It was all German, folks were, you know, not a lot of English, more international last year. This year, it's hands down an international show. It's not even just European, it is global, right, which is great. So what are my key takeaways? Well, you know, again, we are this continual migration from a business that is marketing communications driven to media driven is absolutely now a technology business, right? It is inundated with a lot of folks doing a lot of the same things. I think that's sort of one of my takeaways right now is that I know Europe is kind of a fragmented market. You know, Europe is not a country, but the reality is that there's a lot of duplication, a lot of folks doing the same things. There are big media companies like Google, AOL, and Yahoo that have their sort of cornerstone ad stack, whether it's serving, it's programmatic, it's automation, et cetera. Now moving more into analytics. AOL's Convertro acquisition suggests they're moving into sort of more attribution-driven modeling and KPI-driven modeling. But I guess what I'm seeing is that the poor marketer is just, it just gets harder every day. And what I feel like is the ad stack continues to get deeper. And we have a continual sort of additive set of solutions and technologies and players that are entering the market, or that are, you know, through consolidation, you've got big shops that are trying to be the full integrated stack that is all things to everybody. That's the AOL, the Yahoo. But the reality is it's not getting any simpler. And I'm not sure that this consolidation and then disaggregation of the ecosystem, which is sort of happening in parallel and a bit in conflict, is really moving us any closer to solving the fundamental business problems of marketers. And that's actually something which I'm left contemplating that isn't necessarily, you know, a reflection of DMEXCO, it's just a reflection of where we are as a point in time in the industry. I'm slightly disconcerted that we're still not talking about business. We still talk about moving the needle and we talk about sort of advertising by the measures of success we define ourselves. The other thing that is so obvious is that we need to do something to change the economics of advertising and advertising technology. The biggest business problem we have is the cost of sale and the cost of serving digital advertising is a 4, 5, 10x multiple of that of legacy and traditional media, right? So this is why broadcasters are having the huge challenge embracing this sort of chasm between traditional and becoming a digital sort of real-time IP-based data-driven business, right? Because it's a lot more expensive, it's not as profitable, and it's a lot harder, it's a lot more work, right? Transparency and accountability, it result in creating a lot more heavy lifting around moving the same incremental amount of ad sales dollars when it comes to advertising goes. And the reality is there's a lot of consolidation in our industry because the economics of ad serving, even when you have the paradigm of tonnage, still struggle. And you have marketplaces like Germany that have the sales houses that are slow to adopt and embrace automation because the sales house model is sort of, that retains and protects this direct sales value chain. You know, they're sort of encumbered by the process and the artificial profitability in that and the cushion that it provides. So there's no reason for them to want to disrupt that. It works. And video is an illiquid market. Even though it's nascent in Europe right now, it's still illiquid, which means there's no reason to sort of really disrupt it and change, right? So where am I kind of, you know, where have I been left? Well, what I've been left is that there is an incredible opportunity to sort of codify and organize the ecosystem and to really take what are sort of disparate platforms, products, ad tech stacks, ad tech, you know, channels to market, and really serve both the buy side and the sell side with a new set of tools that unifies this and really rises above the noise. And that's really what I think is the key takeaway, is there's a lot of noise in the system right now. The pipes are full, there's a lot flowing through them, and somehow we as an industry have to better serve our marketers to ensure that they are empowered to make informed decisions, both on investment in media and technology, as well as in driving higher return on investment in their business as a result of that spend. Thanks for coming. It's been a great year. Vielen Dank und bis nächstes Jahr. Tschüss.